All right, so let's start off with this particular news. I am very sad. It sounds here very shocking. So this year, 2025, is a year in your end there, but then we all can agree say it is a year. It has its own story, and perhaps Nema Ekosuomuno, a yadia. And if you're able to make it through the year, what mean do 2026 in fact, you should be very, 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 very grateful. In Sembe na be na, in Sema abe no air patches another crash AC a Michelle helicopter. Now the details with this no are very shocking. Now if you're watching this helicopter crash for the starters and your Ghana happy see in the CAC or Africa. Kenya to be precise, but then the same sequence. Helicopter see you kunko from what trick 8 no. Sab pepe and as our so helicopter crash see Kenya is our kind so and so fire. Now what you are watching some of the still photos I saka out musa police a soldier for any rescuers or makowa or moshe the crash site near my woho one more show munkwa the near one bit me piece it together so na be at the end of the day they can make your friend is saying a case out of this and also help them. This whole thing can help them with their investigation. ANSMP. So if you are caring to know what really did happen, you have more details in regards to that. And if you think, or perhaps the big question you're asking, if there was any survivors, I'm very sorry, no survivors. And the shocking thing is that the helicopter crash, it was carrying Kenyans, it was carrying 4 Germans, it was carrying 2 Dutch nationals, and even certain British people who were learning. Say all of these people were tourist people, and tourists. Kenya were wildlife reserves. Say or more reserves are elephants, lions, it once in a while. So at one particular instant, I know more share the giraffes near the other and you see a helicopter no from. There's a video and there's also a press release all these things it makes the case so sad. But before I watch the video involved, let us watch this particular press release if he we saying another people, the airline and the aircraft carrier now or more operated this particular helicopter. On the screen, so subject aircraft accident 28th of October 2025. So today, and as a particular in some way and as a particular press release we So if you look at it very closely and very clearly, knowing really what's on the screens, you can see also press release aircraft accident at Kwale. Kenya Civil Aviation Authority KCAA wishes to confirm that an aircraft registration with registration number 5YCCA on its way from Jani to Kicha Tembo crashed at 0730Z. So basically on part says our aircraft na can 17 no passe now since the aircraft had 12 persons on board. Government agencies are already on site to establish the cause of the accident and its impact. And on part says particular you mentioned a talk for me it had 12 people on board, and we are learning say one more on board because subsequent update air parties one more on board. No, some of them German nationals, be a British nationals, and the Bisway Kenya. We are learning say Kenyan. We are learning say the pilots involved in the Ukraine say or Kenyan. Now, we also have a video of one of the people are oversee this particular airline in terms of an agency, or the to announce what really has happened, and even some of the message are almost sending the families because Abani say they need to do a forensic audit. One more now we send question form at the end of the day. Say man survive. There are no survivors, but then ultimately we need to get into the details of this. What really caused all of this? So you could see. In summer, Snidi can edit to journal, Nipa Bakwa or one of the penny oversee this particular agency. Almost you saying helicopter to and fro no or the to more details of what really happened and even the way forward because Abani say citizens are anxious. Minuka say that's exactly what is really going on. In summer, one of these particular lead agencies or the two detailing what really happened. Say 2 Germans 8 Hungarians and 1 Kenyan ono ye crew member. Nipa of this assembly etuja Caleb Kositani ono ye the board chairman of the Kenya Airports Authority. Yenti assembly ye papaka ye beto aso.
The plane took off and 10 minutes after being in air, it crashed somewhere in Kwale. There were 12 people on board. The plane caught fire upon getting onto the ground. I've just seen some photographs. I want to say, pass our condolences to the families that have lost their loved ones. Of course, details will be released later once all the relatives have been notified and all. And investigations have already commenced so that we know exactly what the cause of the caravan that crashed, what the cause of the accident is. But we feel for the families. But I want to say that safety is one of our key concerns in the aviation industry. And we adhere to all the safety laws between us and the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority.
So that was a year one of the Penia or that the Kenya Airways so or do tuja air confirm say indeed this thing have happened and idea say you can kind a tragic event so far I'm seeing for 12 in the Hungarians crew friend hungry almost citizens account 8 and Germany for almost citizens as a helicopter crash in A2 and aside from that too we are learning say other national soccer one me no ka say there see Asia ye pa say agencies for no and as one more security agencies ne some military personnel so makushimo wa omo exactly what is really going on any the way forward at the end of the day no you be exactly what caused this and also the way forward as at the end of the day no certain things like this no will not continue to happen in the first place. So that is exactly what is really going on. I just if you are joining us live that is the issue in regards with Aturenchema esi ewo Kenya kamia kwese this particular a year any day a painful year, and we are also seeing is apart from it being painful no what we are also learning is that amount be bree sure mo kwan just say enya asem kita. So that is exactly what is really a year going on. I just say odwen ho kra ontiase. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think at the comment section as we proceed with more news today, because in SMP T4 what's here can want some right here on this particular platform in regards to a lot of events at AC Ewokrum has. So if you are joining us now, it is confirmed say news are air course working and say 411 12 in the Ewu so far, and even from our checks on the camera question the same helicopter a ship firma a kunko for Ewokrum Ghana no a camera question the same model, which raises questions about a year the safety and I said the type of airline you use to and the type of airline you use to Ewokrum, especially because these Chinese aircraft no you who say day in day out no my issues a and crop for, and these are issues I was a Ghana and as Africa you started showing ye pa because even before Ghana helicopter crashed ABC no you who say oko other African country almost so helicopter crash esisa and prime minister or so or no so we are forgotten the country and Chibia na Ghana yes so at Renchem AC. So it is one issue. Yeah, was say can one semina just at the end of the year exactly what is really going on. Not say the year but 2 years and I say we'll start putting things together. We start putting these kind of things together. This is a very fortunate event. Nyankopon emfa wo mo win yonfa o mokra NC. Now straight up no you waste time no. You're moving on to the issue of Daddy Lumba. Today something happened in court. The name the back and forth between Daddy Lumba and the family, you know, and also the wives of Daddy Lumba. I'm talking about Akusia Sewa and Odobruni. Now, initially, Akusia Sewa was the person she was actually refusing. Say, kuna. Basically, the performing the widowhood rights. She's the only person legally bound by law, and also by tradition, and what's our or yes, kuna and a widowhood rights. So, but the issue here is that 2018, this same Akusia Sewa at the Daddy Lumba Nensa a command the for or some sort of letter issue a letter from the lawyer say command Daddy Lumba say our renew gunu. So ultimately, even though amount court and finalizing no for the past years, no, that Lumba was not seeing Akusia Sewa. They were not together, and that Lumba came to Ghana, bro, Yareno, and he stayed here. And Onya Ohukani for Friday say, "Oh no, your Dobroni." All these were no. All that we were seeing and the person we were seeing was Odobroni. But then contrary, now Akusia Sewa party said they had issues like any married couple, and these particular issues that they had, no, and don't just say the marriage was officially divorced, fine, or then sakoye or court, but then officially, by law, the marriage was not dissolved. And she's the person now who's supposed to take sole custody of everything from the properties to the estate to everything. And then the family members of that Lumba Penny and also the lawyers of Ayakusia say Kumasi Circuit Court. And something did happen. We are learning say Omuko Shiemono as that Lumba Nebusian Fono, they've scored a legal victory. Legal victory ni say a court Amahukwan say Sisiano a year na Akusia Sewa April and I say upper court I shall say yenfa injunction to so yen stop near recognizing onunkwa as a legitimate wife no ekamia kwese her request no court have squashed it, which means Ebusianfono they can go on and also perform their funeral. We also learn that Ebusianfono can perform or do whatever they want in regards with the widowhood rights. Say widowhood rights on my first wife or second wife. Now we have a video here, okay, of what Ebusianpini edituja. You watch a video where Babaka. In fact, there were a whole lot of scenes at the premises of a court there. This particular scenes and you could see some of the family members of Akusia Sewa and also some of the supporters of Odobroni you could see that this fight to be tried there. But then quickly you could see some Ebusianpini or the tuja some of his words or the tuja a bra court Emma verdict said they can proceed and do whatever they want in regards with the funeral because I can find memory the family members have the sole custody of the body. Yensho video Babaka yebeto
Court no ade amaye aye no me ne mabusia kotenase de ye pese ye ene ye beye obia ne aye no kwan bia biem e ka de abusia panyini ebeka enti mu nsantwerofo nso adidi atam no bebrebe no njai bejai obi abusia mu asam mo ye yen saa abusia panyi tisame mo sori atemdidie enso betumi awu bebre eni nti no se court na kan wi yempe atemdidie ensem bia osi yenkosi esi yede ane se ye ne abusua ne nyina be kan bom na ya ade eye na abusua na tena ho enko ba se dadi lumba ye nti ye wi na abusua na sa ye pe abusua ede nkapumuka me kasara na me kasa se ye tiensam bebre firi ahimfie ya tiensam ti amane ne amamre eno so ane ye de ye adwuma de yemfa kikikiki nye adwuma ye make sure say ade bia ye bia no eye enti ne ye de bedam lawyer fo a omo so kwotena ase jaja hwe nsem lawyer fo akasa we akasa still ye pe peace anya se ye de bi ma na ye se ya na ye ntokwa ye pe peace na ye de ye gina mu san say ye ne ye mu nyina na ye enzandrofo mu na mo baba abokwa bobo dewuru ama eniama nyina atumi awie peye.
So that particular statement if you are opinion and is just one of the many because the lawyer of Ebusian Fono almost somebody in same ebetuja till why court even squashed Akusia Sewani arguments in the first place because ultimately I will see who the entire same way is see I didn't Akusia Sewa because German embassy for Kwababeka says issue ABCD no idea was a ship ye but now you could see in summer the lawyers of Akusia Sewa or the tuja it is the lawyers of Ebusian for that room Ebusian for Moody tuja or more detailing Sisia na court ama verdict so what will happen a year never cost krana also no what will happen well Akusia Sewa be banned because Ubeka is somebody let it be about says Akusia Sewa ni DP or brochure ni mukrana and say Yakupon ahead I don't know. You share this particular video of what the lawyer said. Yeah, Babaka, we have more to follow.
So today the court had to make the determination of the injunction application that has been placed on the body of our beloved Daddy Lumba. We made our superior submissions in court together with counsel of the second defendant, and the court heard our prayer and currently denied any injunction that is placed on the corpse. So currently, as we stand here, there is absolutely no injunction on the body of Daddy Lumba. The family has absolute right to make any determination as to the type of burial, the role they will assign to any person. So that is the good news that we have currently.
So yeah, uti sema eba na pache say sisi anedi in sema court edia tuja no ma ebusua no kwan say they can go ahead and do whatever they want, which means a big blow to Akusua Sewa, because Akusua Sewa was seeking to stop the funeral, was seeking so no kwan ebe performing widowhood rights, and even was seeking if anything full control and access of the properties of Daddy Lumba. But the answer has it. And then in same because so court today, and this particular in same course so court today, you know, some people actually wore the supporters of Akusua Sewa wore a dress with a flyer on it, and also with a poster on it. In fact, me who we be say that I just say in here no or my supporters of Akusua Sewa and printy abo inim say legal wife serious mind blowing yen hwe video e babaka ye
oba say wa se chire ni ba na se chire ni ba do benya ewudie ma me dofo se kutu se bam ni omu de ni bia se chire fo yankwa
tim se wafo
yeah
tim se wafo and then case
so this was Team Sewa for. Also, there was one incident you see court. It was a mere confrontation. Supporters of Akusua Sewa and Sewa Bruni clashed. In fact, that Lumba no, you could see say, no man not to also your bad do kruno yampa because dead body bang and now one the biwa in Babekunu who see your door and answer properties and a japade. We all do one tia since young Kwani video of the very moment the supporters of Odobruni and also the supporters of Akusua Sewa omudi see ni court. So in fact this is getting nasty by day. You could see say ebusian emu achemienu example ebimu ebusian afa ebimu Akusua Sewa afa ebimu Odobruni afa I messed up. And share this particular video of what really happened the babaka to us because definitely we have a lot of details here to give to our followers. So you see another competition, a Bima printed t-shirt, a Bima printed flyer. In fact, you see an minimum side in politics, but then you could see clearly say these women ubia when the followers ubia jina dujina ubia supported your supported. Some people are of the belief and our session say Odobruni should be the person man in performing widowhood right because or not sound that the Lumba won through his end of days. If you must believe this, Akusua Sewa is the legitimate wife of that Lumba or beshe and your massy and the first try ya kwa quintu na Akusua Sewa or until we see didn't need any boo a manner. Also, if you look at these two fractions, Akusua Sewa and that the Lumba womba miensa. Odobruni ended the Lumba ewo emba in 6. So you could clearly see say ebusuani mu ache yi pa we are learning say apart from that that Lumba essence womba mienu ewo on the side that nyina boma 11 children. Now you can share this particular video involved because this is just one part video you can share and one part of the clash course so our court because still the fractions of that Lumba's first wife Akusua Sewa and Odobruni the both of them almost see nipa and we are just hoping say the D-Day December seat I bear that Lumbe me manin say amount for I take it this too personal. Like say if you that hot near and that would be so sad and bizarre. You can share this particular video of another scene of the clash. Say we see for me ni omudi see ni and I'm some fractions we omudi see ni obi a support it they all support it. You should video baba ka beto also. It's here for Baby. Now, quickly, let's move on to Chairman Wontumi. And then that's this is the first news that appear on everyone's phone was that court has again ordered for the bench warrant and I say arrest of Chairman Wontumi. So the big question is Chairman Wontumi boni ben biem no sanku die. And we're learning say according to the court now or parties Chairman Wontumi will book court edimtia. So the whole issue stemmed from Chairman Wontumi time also appear in court. Now we'll put this on the screens because Nankasa and Chairman Wontumi wa fan ho pa what I say apart from the arrest no or san appear or court or san suku PM ko nidu Ajima Rollins omu fie ho. In fact, a lot of issues. Papa no timu say and why very stressed. They swat by force at any ketwa. So yeah, that story and the first news that appeared on everyone's phone was this. Osha say Accra High Court issues bench warrant for the arrest of Chairman Wontumi for absenting himself from court without permission. So clearly, side issue it is self-explanatory. What we are talking about, the party say, time at Chairman Wontumi, he was supposed to appear in court. We are learning, say he did not appear in court. And court was saying, say, see, we have an issue here at hand. You can't choose to appear and disappear. You need to respect the courts. And say, unim say, I was by now lawyer ba now one back when you show up. And also, you didn't bring any type of excuse form, say, oh, yare, and a medical excuse form, so, oh, yare, untimimba, and I say any tangible excuse to your lawyers, need a trail na one bar, which means, bill near the man will say, Kufie, you report voluntarily, our courts, so bill, you don't deserve it, and untimimba. But then the lawyer actually came out again to say, there was a mishap because you show me that Chairman Wontumi was even there earlier. In the morning, our hokra, but then you see and say, there was an ongoing case, okay, at one of the courts, also the lower courts. It's because of that ongoing case, to Chairman Wontumi night say or train, so that case maybe we not at the end of the day, if we are on a lawyer makwa here or mudie, and no, and a court who say, Chairman Wontumi on by me one case no cause your Chairman Wontumi, a little mishap. Now, Yankuti someone a lawyer Pia Kubi or the Tuja Baba.
The matter was slated for today, Republic versus Chairman Wontumi and Akuntamite. We presume that the time was 10 a.m. So we had prepared to come at 10 a.m. In any case, today's matter was a CMC, case management conference. And Attorney General was supposed to serve us with the discoveries 1 week before today. We did not receive any such service. So we knew that we'll come to court and take another date for Attorney General to be able to serve us. Only for us to get to the court before 10 a.m. and be informed that the matter had been called and adjourned and a bench warrant issued against Chairman Wontumi. We found that one disturbing, so we made an application to the registrar to ensure the court reconvened because the client was already in the premises of the court, except that we mistakenly advised him that the matter will be called at 10. So the court came back to sit and rescinded the decision in respect of the bench warrant. So for now, the case stands adjourned to 4th of November at 9 a.m. in the court premises. We thank you very much for your support and your guidance. We appreciate that. Let us not continue to belabor the point. It is only part of the process of the court that when an accused person is not present, when the matter is called, one of the issues that will arise will be whether or not the accused person deliberately refused to present himself in court. And unfortunately, we've been able to prove to the judge that we were thinking at cross purposes. This is not the case of the accused person refusing to appear before the court, but our mistaken belief that the court will be called at 10 a.m. I thank you so much.
So that was the lawyer of Chairman Wontumi Opate say miscommunication being a cause. Now even that time Chairman Wontumi was not in court. He was in court. Okay, just that some issue being a cause. So I mishap into all channel. Time Chairman Wontumi train na a year or no Chairman Wontumi lawyers arguing say case for na ekoso. The time you do almost na just say you di obi case or time omu face do almost na say omu case ni trim. Until they were thinking say case na ekoso na obi case no na omu case. Obi case na almost omu dream say ye be di no. Omu case na omu for say ba be di omu ko na say no ye be case. So basically mishap. Time bia also about 10:30 and ya ma 9:30 also about 9:30 ya ma 10:30 inti o twen no 9:30 ya free obi case yes one ba 10:30 ba yes you do case that it's normal resolve. You see as our bench warrant ye fi Chairman Wontumi. So we saw Chairman Wontumi actually departing from the court premises. Yen video ye babaka ye beto aso.
Also, what transpired in court today?
Good morning.
Please, we have issues.
It's okay.
So yeah, that was Chairman Wontumi Odipate, which means a yanchino, which is a very good thing for him and his counsel. Now, furthermore, the argument as to what was really happening, Osha video na play and to about Brian TV share grey coat and no Janin Chensi and a staunch ally of Chairman Wontumi and Coca edituja a bra. Yeah, order for the arrest of Chairman Wontumi no patches. You see, this whole thing, it is a bit misconstrued because Chairman Wontumi was actually in court. Nemum some mistake and mishap be and a bar. So, you share this particular video of how Coca, who was there from the beginning, or Chairman Wontumi say a penalty. He's just in one of the chambers. Okay, clearly no. Wontumi say a mistake be and I say a mishap be in a see or church and semu and or patches a process. You see, we should allow Chairman Wontumi to defend himself. If the court finds him guilty, fine. If the court acquits him, fine. But then once he try, say change now a day, a be Chairman Wontumi come for video back.
We are in court. Wontumi got here 7:30. You all saw him when Wontumi got here. You bloggers, you saw him. You wanted to come talk to him, and he said he was waiting for his lawyer. You go inside, says here, you won't say Joy News. I a news card, echo round say, yeah, issue bench warrant. But Wontumi and then the lawyer, what damn was here, courtroom 4. Our motive was here. So, say yes, one makota, what he was here. Into mistake be a cause be, I think say it has to be rectified. It is untrue. He's in the courtroom. Udu has 7:30. No on any judge. The lawyers in him say court session at 10 o'clock. Into about 9:45, and you move court top. Into your courtroom force is here. And he says, I have to say, I am wondering who is peddling that falsehood. And it's on my Yowaha. Many Janam who say one of the Attorney General's assistants in the back, you know, say honorable. We are done with the court sitting. The judge has issued a bench warrant for Wontumi not appearing in court. But Wontumi is in court. Courtroom 4. Inti me urge mo mo de anko courtroom 4. Na mo nkwohwe say Wontumi nti kwa. Medas.
Exact time Ben over the mountain.
Or 10 o'clock. But you saw us here. We were here.
You were here before 10.
Yes, you do at 7:30. And your courtroom was 9:45. And he has been here. The whole place I am. Obenya Prime Parking say. No.
It's one catch was one elite.
Sana Echo Round. Our Joy News are publishes this year.
See now Banisano, a thing na Obeyafa.
Oh, na some more courtroom. See and we who judge in this animal. They will still lawyers know, or they will go through the process. But we just wanted the general public to know. So Wontumi is in court or Hasisia or Hasisia. Meaning we are me say move cost ro akwa verify am courtroom for our. Thank you.
So that means you have not been arrested.
No, see a issue we am ba our.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that was in Sema Odituja said Chairman Wontumi. Definitely he has not been arrested. So contrary to the claims are now and then so say Chairman Wontumi no, you could see clearly say that particular narrative no has been squashed. But then regardless, Chairman Wontumi fi no okupie mu ewo Nana Konidu Ajima Rollins ni fie. We all know the unfortunate incident is this particular incident is apparently and I just said, mama Konidu Ajima Rollins says we trying to need Ashe buying. Now, Chairman Wontumi being the MPP Ashanti Regional Chairman, Nukupimo, right after the court premises, we have a video of that. And share by better as well. Okay, so that was issues are a course. Now straight up, no, yanko Captain Smart also. So within this particular week, there's been calls for a OSP to step down, and the issue has to do with trying investigation. Say investigation investigation into if any say Ken Ofori Arthur. Nipa Sisi and are joining the clan calling for the removal of OSP from office and Air Captain Smart. In fact, he cited a lot of things that air question to him. No, these things are just more evidence enough. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama also shared na oyi papa ifi adie so. As to why Captain Smart believes that, he explained say, Osha papa no, as a Kenufri, as a we Kisie Jabe no, Nensa eshe etwa mienu mu because you don't know if he's working for the betterment of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and now say he's working a year for the betterment of a year nipa or appointee no a year nipa meka na semi a year former president Akufo-Addo okensem bebre yakwa in sama a year or the two jar or detail said to him ne dear OSP wabeye bi but see an ye pa His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. He needs to do the needful. The needful here is for him to actually tell OSP why are there obo modern why ye obitima but currently need we need someone to actually carry on and do the rest, and the person are here to carry on and do the rest. No, unfortunately no, it is not you OSP. I will see a pay obi from into quickly never could see in summer a year Captain Smart or the Tuja about this whole issue ye babaka ye betu aso.
Abobo ye sign Lexus and the V8 not OSP no way.
Yantia 1910
Professor na no okay galamsi asem no your friend say. Papa ya no ye best heart surgeon. Professor Frimpong Boating. Okay galamsi asem say excavator by 480. Ayira. Now OSP wa hi. When you enter OSP by, you for now must on prosecute you be sa office na Akufo-Addo create say ada be fia ban mu won kase obunim some phone bedi na wa frustrate aban foforo beba tell be you want to prosecute you be it is OSP pesa ochi kenofurata pam Ghana for radio ono ani MPs enye MP1 nye 2 nye 10 nye 20 nye 30 nye 40 nye 50 nye 60 nye 70 nye 75 88 MPs are sorry say akwane say o man no obi aba Bobby 77 billion Bobby said sa bonds in kwa raise $11.3 billion. $11.3 billion. Now there was how? You can so an echo. OSP person chicken for that anti go. Who told you? Next point. Ya to abewie. Nana do lose election. Baumie lose. MPP lose. Keno for that and am kroma. Abaina obeba ye be swear in no. Chief of staff say friend say. Ghana chief of staff say.
I don't know.
Julius Debra, issue statement. Say, Wubia! Winning say, Yapo Udin, our corruption related matter be amuno. OSP, or making sure Sani Panon to coin. Meboa. And then I can offer still on the diplomatic passport to coin.
Bibini, oh, Bibini and Nipo. Bibini.
Yeah, 2 abandon here, no. Can offer attack or hospital. US. What is Ghana near Tiaga?
Your bosom nobody wechi.
Your
bosom nobody wechi.
Say in the diplomatic passport only Chrome ha. Now attend the in. At the time now can offer the diplomatic passport to 2 coin or 2 coin in the name of Ghana. So as a stance, we mean the diplomatic passport to the and one or the name.
Bibini, oh, Bibini.
Mami Chebu Netias. I buy issue statement say who diplomatic passport Fabra. But me just smart fan say mini diplomatic passport me they can't fan me with diplomatic passport and I made passport no at 2 coin in the name of Ghana. Me I'm an official trip into sa Emrano and Cheme. And Ken or 2 coin in his capacity as the finance minister of Ghana. Or the diplomatic passport in the phone. In any case, OSP, so person chicken for yata. Sanko becheno. Shakukwasa, oh yeah. Eban sena MPP phone kwana na omudidi. OSP ata me I sat here and defended him.
Nobody wechi.
Me betra have defended Office of the Special Prosecutor. Meanwhile, now Paul Admochri, Odinatem, Meboa. Anamurafi. And then Paul Admochri and country Office of the Special Prosecutor. Onukrade or Bokisi Jabindi, and the did attempts on a small boy, but on Meboa. And a Canadian Japan, so on MPP, do you know? Okache Ghana for say Shekise Jabe ne se. Can some why is na MPP phone kwan na edi Kise Jabe atem? The reason was that they had then come to understand say that office was not created to fight for Ghana. But it was a barrier to protect certain individuals.
When we know science and systems.
Oh, Hannah, what about your statement? Yeah, can Fiata red alert.
Wait.
Oh, Hannah, get it. Red alert.
When
Answer them, Baba Kufadu, you make a choice. National Service for Forensic Audit, but I'm a producer, and I'm Baba Kufadu di woman. And I'm Sambo to me say, Chroma Piety, yeah, BB and the former president, no Kwamfia Kufadu sem.
when
Now you're stripped of every title, even honorable Akufado no kwano MP no Mr. Kwad. Yenji fi papa nsem. Now and serve as a deterrent. To Nkrofo a person will be president. Wase ono ani di. Kwenda ono ani ti kwankura wase no.
when
Wase ni yiridin, wase chebi, wase achimfodi, wase MPP party no, Akufado nko abedi president. From the very first day Akufado, a flag bearer of MPP pair, na party no started say pen and Alan Chamatin, efa kwan no koye, and odikemu so, any guy no kuma say Jata Jatabamo, ete wobo no mkote party fufro. Oh, Sabo once or by no be pam Kwabene Japan. Akufado Kroya by pa no be pam Paul Afoku or by and no be pam one more time a G Blanksing or pam there being a G Blanksing Sami Crab Papa Koto Sami Crab Papa Koto
campaign
or Papa Sami Crab if he party him no apam we free party him no apam we free party him from very first day obedi flag bearer pair no status or say MPP ade bi Akufado betunye wase am ono an fie kura wase no
campaign atosio
ade bi obetunye bia ono ade bi obetunye bia wase no why na be president Okroma na busuani aka kwantum transit the big put transit dina sama America no wi dimachi wase bibia mo no na busuafo kura wase won abrabo Kufuor be di president ni busuani bia no na ba mo nya stroke say asante be dey to the stroke da manu betimi atrew because me nipa eno ensashi why na be di kwa me kuma di president the busuani bi ofri akonya so onu kwa yekun no wenya yade yankotena fie Rollins be di ye Kufuor bai Mills bai Mahama abako wasaba Akufado nko abedi president why na ye executive secretary to the president of this stroke akotena fie ade Akufado ade bia sa kwa no ho mi wotumi bia ka meje former president no kwafin se bi do nyame was train bibia say ono an abusuafo Mercedes Benz or Sako fie kura wase no
adan
why na be the president man abusuani aka kwantum finance minister be the film ra Kwame Nkrumah te Ghana
Ghana for
na be asesa man aka kwantum Rollins finance minister dey say kojo dabi bibi botwe oh if I say Rollins finance minister something botwe kwesi botwe who say okoka kwantum ye friend say Kwame Pepra who say okoka kwantum obey who say okoka kwantum otra krom ha me ye pe kwati kwan bi de ne fa so de ne tum kwati kwan okoye Mills bae and of Dr. Kwabena for Dr. Kwabena for tra krom ha makufa do gunu bank meanwhile na do bo Kwabena for besia opa Brian Tunchi ana mentiro o te ne bank besia o sanje ono aso personal besia me na meka akufa do personally or the Kwabena for ka ontu ai
Ghana for Muso.
Because I'm telling about JB, but I'm in Tui. On Tui. I
am Munti and Mahama MC.
Former MPR, MP before the $5 million to call the constituency. I'm an Lucy. Honorable Apia could be Mamma Tahana Casam. Akufado, MP before primary. Nipana or didn't call contest. Almost had $2 million for constituency. Say I'm fan to abandoning Tiano. One more year, day na running, yeah, win. Na Mexico for now, okay. Or sir, what takes some Macassa appear could be a winning, but Minsan Sisu, your man. So, Sisu, when can you me train? Answer Kufokoda because appear to be time now. Rollins winning second term. When you're 1996, and yeah. 1996, 7th January 1997. Mercedes Benz na J. 14 and what they call Rolling swearing in. They appear to be there. When Nanko 40 to come, did appear to be a say, obey ye that way. Appear to be tall Barracuda. Nancy Kadibia and Nibiokuma. Appear to be tall Barracuda. Tall Mercedes Benz. Nancy Kafa Okroma no be a Nibi. Appear could be who said why you know got bulletproof. And that may kind of pay. I could find the very president to cry and to me and be a fan to bulletproof a man. Appear could be there no question, a basic non fancoy. I'm for the Yanako. Nache. Who are bodyguards, baby? For Appear could be bulletproof no command.
Shamaki Shrai Yehoah.
When you know, or the Nisi Appear could be home, or Petrol say Appear could be live. Told ya. Okay, Appear could be here. I'm trying. Mercedes Benz every year be OB. Munima me catch no. Papa na friend honorable and the Appear could be no. Onye ni perfume.
El ahenu Yehoah Eckhart.
And so yeah, I could father say ya say Wontumi dagati ni Wontumi.
Told ya.
Or say Wontumi we no. Any point to charge Wontumi. Hey, Appear could be. But
Minya Ghana ni bio. Ghana for Musorio. Ghana
na Wontumi we. Say nyame tua wo ka wo ho. Nyame o tua wo ka o soja wo to. Obo mu sa na watatui, wa ni o se mframa na ejina wo yem wo to na ehye. Wo to na ehye.
Oh, I don't know.
Na wo ai Wontumi. Wo di mirikani akufado aye kanana. And I'm person mutu Appear could be. Wants to $5 million. Akogu constituency him. Sponsor independent candidate. And now Wontumi on your case, MPP lawyer be as your defender no. Because woman inside the end why.
It's if we're in same baby. But then you're moving on to this particular case. Me no say, you know, Dr. Bawumia. You know, the Bible warns of a particular thing. King Solomon, the wisest and the most wealthiest man on earth, or say a deal through will be a say, and you be or settle when a kumemono and tisa. Or see, those people they are more deadly than the venom of a python. Say or the enemy humpa or kawa within 1 second will be wuno. Or pass will be or settle and I dream mono. Eya dream bone no King Solomon so nipa no sing serpents and na say cobra the poison. Now same way ebi aba ama yeto akoma Dr. Bawumia na no within this week we say 86 or 87 MPs 82 or say 82 or so MPs out of the 88 MPs omu na say omu support eta Bawumia and no and I want to me supporter Bawumia support to be a presenter Wontumi FM. Or the Ababe to say Wontumi Dr. Bawumia one more when was seeing no be do na ye kwa. That lumba boy you be as no be was say ye ne was kwa yendo. Ye ne was kwa but we chinu ye will say lose the election. Yenko tin samasa reporter edit to joy babaka ebeto aso.
And now within me name say no. And in the coming days, I will come and give reasons. Nobody can convince me now. A chance of me. But the tears is here. Send the part 29 from Ashanti region. Kwabiri East MP oni Dr. Baumia ho. Mia minua penny me high school mate. Kwasi Jamfio nyina champon. Oni Dr. Baumia ho. Oni Dr. Baumia ho. Me say in the coming days I'll come and give reasons. Such now was a fine. Anybody is subjected to change. Lawyer Mia Odoto Bri Oni Dr. Baumia ho. Oni Dr. Baumia ho. Oni ho. You see, and I'm on a year too. We nipa. In anything that you do, ma we yes, and ya we yes. No, and ya no. That hypocrisy, nya chum semono. No. Yen fan to an amount. I'll be very surprised when the catcher me say, yen ya may be in cancer board. Eh, yeah, you might get the mad Dr. Baumia. I'll be very surprised. I'll be very surprised. Lawyer Kwekwas and Tibuati. Jaso. Ah, the other pay is why be. The last primaries. O declare Alanche Martin. No declare Dr. Baumia. Sa. And Koma made die. The minim the matino. I was surprised in the part 29 and it didn't be. I spoke to some members of parliament. Said, "Kwame da paye minia." But are you that very sure? It is on people even send me messages. Minim say no be na asmo so me hwe. That panam so But Kwame is a brother. Beyond borders. He will continue to be a brother. Those of the work concerns one should advise him. And Emma or yeah, a man here very successful. No? How he did his things, ultimately in politics. Amanyosem, he is at liberty to choose whoever he wants to support. But at the end, we are the 10 months after election, what declare Amani Pamiensa? So who do you support? Tomorrow, can you be trusted? Dr. Baumia, Kennedy Japan, and then back to Dr. Baumia, and then Brian Champon. When you do that, any parko will declare mono ebe home you. It can even be an NDC. But an amobia ye to biano. Let your ye be ye and your no be no. Enyana sem na meka. Enyana sem na meka. Politics. Ade ba ko a eye priceless ewo mu. Eye honesty. And to win somebody's trust. Na me sure say sadie ebema the people leading Doctors campaign no, a signal of the people they are dealing with. It is not about anybody who runs to them. You know na eko. And I was say open up. Holy ni ajedi. Doctor will win this election. He will win this election. But omunsusu maniema entice you. Omunsusu ma omasum enye omude. Sometimes get yourself ready for the bad news. So you be assume you de bebre ba de bi obe pass mo be come when you be you. Sometimes it is better to face the reality than to massage the issues. Me say, the making people will get reasons why they make canon. It is contrary to that. Fine. Time will vindicate us. Time. Na yemfasa ntu anamo. You don't deceive yourself and deceive the people around you. Obekwa akopem one day. Enunti na me say obetie behwa da bia no. I don't have a problem with omo mu declare openly man kofo no. Because me penesase ne say obeye heotisha oche. That hypocrisy. Oduwe wa owon ho, oduwe wa eno na de basabasa ye ba party ni mu no. Because when somebody thinks say foko wa me ho. Foko ba to ba ma me. Na wakan ba do a obenya ho. No bu nkonta. Ti ye koto ba na se wo dia mekan wo ofiri se wo to ma na ma obi na awia no. No de abufuo e de basabasa ye ba party ni mu.
Nkofo so sha se de to nkofo ti.
I am telling you.
I don't know if this is a campaign message and as a direct warning, but yes, Dr. Baumi Ashuwichi. In fact, I don't want to get personal. Nyom mienua metie this year. I hear lesson to my life. Ye no srekwa, and ye no srekwa exactly. And I yinti ubia ye ni ho beto. Intino Baumia yes ye no srekwa. Because certain MPs are cancer 50 or 60 MPs almost declare support about no. Those same MPs are calling Brian Champon at the back since Brian Champon 1 year person be lead the party no. Those same MPs too are calling Kinejapon says Kinejapon. We want someone like you to lead the party. So the big question is who jina benkum and now Jennifer. In fact, in terms of a year friend Motro Mojo. And yes about me show who ye pa because oba and obesre ovia not the wako. And that is exactly what is really going on. In Tiamasi Siano MPP for mo campaign or mo yen are you I want to hear say you you can't say they are so quite better than what change that. That is a very sad thing. Now, in this same vein, you know, and now on this same campaign, because we know say in few months' time. You better elect a new person. Obey the party name. Into be a new person. Yeah, and the new person who could it be? Now, Kennedy Japan, Casino, he's moving around doing his campaign. He says something is trending on social media. Ken Japan, the latest message of the Ababe Tujan said, he wants to change the capital of Ghana to somewhere. So where does Ken Japan want to move the capital of Ghana to? Yebeka wants some later, and he's also saying that he's going to move the Ministry of Agriculture from Ghana, from Accra. Okay, sorry, he's going to move the Ministry of Agriculture from Accra to obey where to move the. If there's a capital, no best segmenting is a capital, and be Accra, it be Kumasi, be Takwa, and now say obey to sue a different destination because Accra is true too. He's also now saying that he's going to remove the Ministry of Agriculture or Accra. A ministry, no, obi if you not the tamale. This message, it is taken in two folds because to some people, a idea is a very good message. To others, too, it is scary because who ye the Ministry of Agriculture if you are tamale. In the mo proposal be amede equal the ministry. I just a mefaka if you are tamale. Really, in fact, yenko see how can Japan actually brought this whole thing to how he actually announced this. And to him, this particular directive or the ban, it is going to change Ghana. Yenko tie in sama honorable Kenny Japan or dia tuja ye babaka ye betrust because definitely there is a lot of things to unpack from this particular message from Kennedy Japan.
I want to assure you two things. When I'm the president, the first thing I'm going to do for the 5 Northern regions is to move Ministry of Agriculture to Tamale. I'm also going to convert Tamale Airport. About 90% of Tamale Airport, we are going to use it for cargo terminals because I saw vegetables on my way. From here to London Market is 5 hours. We are going to produce vegetables in abundance and export it from 11 p.m. by 5 a.m. is at UK and European market. We are also going to build fertilizer plants here. We need a fertilizer plant in the 5 northern regions especially because of the nature of your land. We're going to mechanize our farms, our lands, and everything. But before we do that, we need a fertilizer plant here. And Tolo, you are very close to Tamale. There's no difference. So take advantage of what I'm telling you. Go and look for a land. I need 40,000 acres. And challenge me if I will not be able to do it for you to see. Whether I win or not, give me 40,000 acres and see the factory I'm going to put here with the farms. A piece of advice is that I've been here to talk to you about what I can do. So let other aspirants also come and talk about what they can do. But I know for sure they don't have a message because they gave all these messages and they couldn't do it. So now they've resorted to lies, propaganda. Oh, Kennedy Japan has insulted MPP. Kennedy Japan has taken money from Mahama. Kennedy Japan is the one who killed Ameswali. Would all these things put money in your pocket? No, sir. Would it put money in your pocket? That is the campaign they are doing. Let them tell you what they can do to benefit you. Politics is about interest. So let them assure you that they are going to put money in your pocket by giving you jobs. They are not going to give you any money because they want you to continuously beg them for your child's school fees. Liberate yourself by voting for Canadian Japan to create businesses so that you can take care of your own children without going to ministers and politicians to beg them for your child's school.
Okay, so that was Kenny Japan, the message or the betuja. Now, far from that, no, okay, can you say no, one person also na no about betuja, and also na no misema about betuja, a Vim lady. Vim lady is saying, say, you know, a lot of things are really going on in the New Patriotic Party, but then for the start, we saw Kenny Japan to be the underdog, and we saw Kenny Japan to be the outcast. People said it's not good, but then now, no, the politics of insult, no. Kamia kwesa kupie Dr. Baumia camp. Oba kai say earlier this week the update be brew. Update the brew ne catch say abronye. Ebra Wontumi ko obono a oye ne campaign. Abronye went on stage to speak. And then he spent 80% of the time attacking Kenny Japan and attacking Kenny Japan's message so Bobby create ejuma ama manfo. In fact, o use a certain script from Kenny Japan say obisa oba we creative fact we see facts we creating employment employment crofo and abronye bisa san crofo no employ o yinko bisa party members ahen ne kan NDC phone kwa and the crowd no omubuefo omokache Wontumi say on candidate candidate ebeye omokache abronye say on candidate candidate ebeye menuka say menuka say no film lady so is of that session says see the politics of insults no if he King Japan camp and I could pay Dr. Baumia camp. And if Dr. Baumia doesn't really handle it well, he is going to pay a political price for it because he is the person who is ultimately poised to win. Now, at the end of the day, Onya in Kabomwa, how is he going to convince King Japan, Brani Champon, Kwamni Japan, and Professor Yeridichum to come together and rally with him to win the presidency in 2028? Yintin some of them lady editor drive back because
this is why I was questioning about Baumia say that the nina ya konfa Abronya say ba Baumia nko so onye nipa ya suma ni so nkodi obi atemba pe a video we che say oye Baumia nipa and mo na mo suma no because Why is he standing on Baumia campaign platform so? And again, I have to say, Ojina Baumia campaign platform so keke. What you call a comment Canada Japan but also Canada Japan. It's not good. Eti Baumia, now one year who say you are endorsing the Yabronya no. So call him to order. I think Kadiawe was a very bad move. It was a bad move to allow Abronya to. It was a bad move for them to allow Abronya, but Baumia is in a very difficult position because if Abronya and Papada, it told to mean Pamonu free the campaign. But Obejina campaign platform to among guide no. Namon Tiano so say who call henceforth. Eko Canada Japan, all the other can make fair comments. May attacking him. May attacking him about them.
That is in Sema, a year family, to just say, in Sema, a costono, Baumia is in a tight corner, which I understand because Baumia said you, Chino, on tenny papa, no aqua attack you, bisa, or can saying, inti eno dear, so on teaching no until Mokasa, you be su a proxy. Make a proxy, a camia quest, ebia, mua manone, me by UK. Na me ba UK no me use straight routes na me ko fa baby me ma kasa proxy locations ane me fa akusia ma fa akusia sanam de ewura UK me use direct routes no ana say ebia wo say me ko UK ko ye bibi na ma fa obi so e de ye bibi e na e proxy so Baumia can directly respond to some of the attack chino content papa and it no he links on people like Wontumi the workers in our radio station any Abronya to do some of the verbal attacks for him. It is totally understandable. But then at the end of the day, I was so more cancer omini entra obeninton, and that is exactly what Vim Lady is saying. This whole issue, it is generating a whole lot of buzz. Let's hear for a young movie quickly to a year wager. Exactly 3 years ago, 2022. Yeah, the update be brelmo. Se uko wager. There is a land that a woha sa land ne wohono. A ben uyu be onim wager pa a ben mama part na sorry. In fact, just after mama part sorry ne pe. Eye sa land no e ho na na wo. Na Chinese will be ba ho sa Chinese form ba ho no. They took the land or they bought the land from some chiefs a wo sa wager potemu ejiska e bra na enye legal. Remember say all that land it belonged to Pambros. Na omode ye nchine ni ade. But then ultimately the Chinese they were able to bypass certain measures and loopholes and omoko jiska efi omoko tueska ma ahemfu bi omo wager ho and omo to asase no e ma sa Chinese for no. And the Chinese people started building their almost building factory. Now, that factory no building cement. It's therefore why would name cement and who may be able to say chemicals here, they mix it near the cement no. At the end of the day, a very hazardous, a harmful to human health. So usually, I am paying obi a cement factory in Europe, in China, in Asia no. Agency, an environmental protection agency in that particular chrono, they tell those factories to move to the outskirts of town, which means say baby and crop for one yes cement factories because fumes any smoke a beba out whilst you are mixing to get your cement so smokes the concrete at the cancer at the lung disease at the kidney problems any other eba. So the people in Makati here were pushing, say, at the end of the day, no matter cement factory, no embaho. It's here for a court. I'm a man for demonstrate here. Menoka say cement factory no until trim akoka so now bar udu wager empire cement and the woho. And no think what that last year and the last 2 years, ye tieni who pass up empire cement, also pass empire cement now cool in kakra na Pambros. After Pambros, no Chinese probably see a big mall your friend the Chinatown supermarket. No problem. Menuka say no, they are now going further to take the Pambros land. Pambros which has been there from 1958. Ghana independence 1 year per. And Kwame Nkrumah na amount for tenants say we need to create a salt factory, locally manufactured factory, and a Pambros ebae. Yeah, Pambros no 1958, which means show me is over 60 something years. And at the end of the day, Sa Pambros land na at the end of the day omodi enche no Chinese for abeje afa on the right side abeje left side kakra na aka wonfinfini no so China for ne so omoje ene that story ya video show on the screens live video fi Pambros Chinese for say sa Pambros land no efe bi no omakoto etua kan te ye omode ama sa Chinese for yi akofa national security tie ni ye abase land na omokoje a omoso omato na ye omode no Pambros for a tunchine was so no near the Pambros for workers need be some tears because he see an yaji as I say wo ometifi I did the one now for kakra won't fin so amount for Eddie Yanchne a tom enye bidi Eddie source of livelihood Chinese for so omato assassinity yanum for omufio and Pambros workers for say ye fee ye feel I could did in a year for 60 something years. This has been a source of livelihood for us, for our children, for our family, and for the entire neighborhood. Chinese for so monte omode nsam no call court no oma san so akofa national security for says sia no wo demonstrate say mo allow emasa construction and cost for Pambros for assassin no national security to stop there. And guess what? The national security too also came there. Now I show an excerpt of the video in Saka. This excerpt is scary because I know say at the end of the day, we need to allow people to come into our country and trade. They all trade, but then we need to respect rules and regulations. You see, Ghana ha your Chinese lawyer, your China phone you might be brave. Are we selling our soul because of money? Yanko share this particular video of Nyema kakre course so ewo ho. At the end of the day, national security for buy yanko for no mu protect your land. National security for buy stop you almost say Chinese for some assassin. It mo bia and stop the Chinese for no from using the land to do whatever they want. So sad. Yen share this particular video involved. In fact, a mama kai comment will be Troy and Anwa Mahama echo China say yes, Mahama or Tonga for ama China. I wouldn't be surprised. So if you for Yensaka a video of this particular reporter na echo so. Yen share this was captured by one person na Oshe TV and then the Wontumi capture yen share video where ye babaka ye beto aso because there's more on this particular issue. Then the day was say you can watch them right here on this particular platform, Pinaxtv.
Staff of Crσsh Industries Limited and then workers of the Chinese national Robert Stanway. Now today a similar situation is unfolding here. We have heavily armed police officers and national security officers who have followed the Chinese national to the premises of the company. As I speak with you now, this is the refinery area of the Crσsh Industries Limited. And just as you can see, rightly behind me, that backhoe is demolishing a fence wall of the company to allow a fence wall to be erected by the Chinese national, Robert Stanway. The workers here are desperate because even though they are witnessing their livelihood being destroyed, there is nothing they can do.
How can they get here? How come the Chinese investor or developer is claiming the land? Is it from the courts? Where exactly is this coming from?
So the Crσsh Industries Limited has been operating from this area since 1958. And then last year, the Chinese national, who also owns the Empire Cement Factory, just within this area, showed up that he has bought portions of their land, and so he was asking them to vacate. The issue is now before court, but the Chinese national, according to him, cannot look on when the company continues to operate from this area, and so he wrote to the national security for protection so that he can come and take possession of the land that he has acquired from the Bawe traditional area. And so the national security granted his request and then detailed men offer for him to come and take possession of the land.
So beyond just showing desperation, what is the company doing? That's Pambros.
If you can see from behind me, these are some staff of the company, mostly women who are really not happy with the situation because Pambros employs 1,000 and workers. What it is that when the mic is taking over, these people will lose their livelihoods. Apart from that, also we want to for a fact that this is
Very well, that is our man on the ground. I could see Ado bringing us up to speed on what is happening at campus currently. You're still watching this.
So that is it. Pambros na I can want some say tunch my kohoda. I know the place. I go to the place. It employs over 1,000 people. Uti na report an eka. And a Chinese for no mo bang other side no a year empire cement no. On my force ya at the cement I be see a crum fin. School one chain and he feel one chain. Mama pass sorry one chain. In fact, on the other side crowd no John Kuma. Ne yere school ne yere a jonkuma wenyan baby ko ne yere si asori new school ewo ho in the middle of town we see cement factory smoke near the konkrofo dem konkrofo hunim yenka ho asem. They've moved on the other side to create a Chinatown. No problem, you rush Chinatown 80% of the people working there are Ghana for because then they are creating employment. But the issue here is Sisiano assassin a Pambros for the salt manufacturing company Pambros was no Chinese phone say assassin to etuaka ama ahimfu bi 1968. Where was those chiefs when Kwame Nkrumah and others secured that land say tunchine ya talk Chinese say wa talk e wo receipt or their court asam or their court in din wie you nti osisa nkrofo no omutunchine e ba ne hiemu sa assassin na all contest no. And into a track of my national security. And my national security aba a protect Chinese for so war no. Whilst the case is ongoing. Yet ye krum and I done in kwa. And na ahoko mum nete ponkoso. The foolishness be ye Jimmy be before ye Jimmy. That is exactly what is really happening in this country. The quick question answer na ebe next update ni say can any black person can Ghana any bibini bia wo wiase bia I am bisa with my can any black person go to China? Now I got state land. 2 or state land ni we are no akwasa track of my Chinese national security say on state land on locals and Chinese phone be air train. Into no as a land now or more train woman so Chinese phone be benenam so into on pay. It's national security for Embra, no more protected now on sea war ever. Can it happen? It can never ever happen because China you know obuye say ya boa. But Chrome has say no ya done in kwa and a whole boom and a tip on koswa. Ya friend national security to come and stop our people from working. Oshe video now it was normal people womo mutunchi no kwa pambros te. And these stupid things and foolish things is going on in Ghana in the name of industrialization anyhow. Ebe kakra yebinya Chinese president ewo kroma. Say National Science and Maths China for ebe mubi. Ye wa Chinese lawyer. Ye be bia Chinese ni na no satawale and concern Chinese ni bi tonyo. Ye ti kroma na very soon Chinese for better party political party ewo kroma say blame politicians. So that is the issue of course in regards with the whole issue. Just a very sad issue. Odwen ho kra onti ase. But then what can you do? The bit mind say be bon de do. Aban no ono na nema ni nyina hye ne sa Akufo-Addo omusi empire cement ye kan Akufo-Addo ye report Akufo-Addo say kan one district one factory na omusi empire cement. You see and this same Chinese people they are in bed with MPP NDC until kakra na wan hwa enkosi hwe. For me no can say one other issue and also abegin tra on social media this beautiful girl no one ye fe pa yi na or a student me no can say student no or Yasantua senior high school Yasantua girl senior high school na she went viral ni nya ne say o hwe itinua na wo lady need so and lady itinua na edosin yi pa na then the day no you try because school no nyina ekọ SHS and senior dey SSS. You could see they allowed this and they told us say it was so chouty. Your hair should be kept down, neat down and shaven and not shaved. Until lady way on the teen, you know, to me fast teen way and course was so shaved and also. Baba now old channel no tried it before and after. I know they to social media amount for both say I didn't I buy one else ye trying to you school into ye cho between a mama no can say amount for be brave reacted to this. One person I know can say also reacted to this issue. enyo bia say Miss G na hosti a TV show sa TV show na hosti no United Showbiz and I see akwa brochi all the same bia ba betuja, and it's very important say everything say my Miss G edia tuja, because Miss G is of the view say you see ene yesu say ye nuanom mba ye mo yi omuti ye refri say bi abrofo mutri nwi ene before ye tri nwi e different. Abrofo ni tinyo ko dwari mu ogyen sum dwari mu be ye die wo ye ne pen mi na dwari mu de bia e be ye brown ye tinu so e ye din, so it requires constant care. Sisi an ye se ye nuanom enketo omunkoye omukosko omunkoyi omuti e na mizi e bisa se ye te ha ye se aduane ye nuanom keto ombedi wo sukro mu ni bi na obanka sankasa okoyi ni trinyi ba ko common kon wuro kritimi charge 400-500 cedis imbofre ya sebio school fees community tua ana ye free aduane ombedi kromuni no ye se omunkoyi omuti. How would they maintain it? Yenko tie in sema Miss G editu ja, to me, you know, a very good thing na waka. And also ye ba you could see some of the submissions are aba because China ne TikTok aba be pim. Ane, in fact, now we Chinese form the law be bias. Our law you can once, but then could see in summer Miss G editu ja. When we come back, we continue this particular update.
There's been chaos on social media, people saying that this thing about shaving your hair before you go to school is primitive. Where is this coming from? That a school's requirement is now being seen. There's been chaos on social media, people saying that this thing about shaving your hair before you go to school is primitive. Where is this coming from? That a school's requirement is now being seen as barbaric. How are we supposed to regulate hairstyle? Now, headmistress, they can't even manage common sweat, not to talk of managing their hair. So we should set up salons all over. Schools that are crying for land to make dormitory. People are sleeping on the floor and they are using the same comb on our children. My child went to school without dandruff. They came back home with dandruff. Can you imagine the chaos of somebody's hairstyle blocking somebody else if it is not well regulated? They'll be washing hair. Do you know how many schools don't have water? Now, they don't give exit to go to town to go and braid hair in Puni. So if your argument is that we didn't braid our hair, but yes, we didn't make the grades, how are you sure that these ones that are going to braid their hair will make the grades? There's a huge canker, especially with the senior high system. 4 good months, children are going to stay at home. People are pregnant when they are returning.
So that is exactly what is really going on. Miss G, I can hear. But then one person so I can be says, can ye. Because according to Sapa Paya or Casano or Patches says, Sisiano, ye phone scrana, ye de my yanum ketwana, almost show, hey, me amity meka. SHS for you on my bone. The youth these days, I dream when the team in say, or buy a TikTok account. Now I sat. Now we posty and there's peer pressure among them. Sometimes I sit down and I cry for our future. So
if it comes to the issues of hair, my question is, we have raised so many objections to this, not because of the freedoms we don't want to take it from the students, but the fact that we are going to manage hair aside managing academic work. We are going to create an unnecessary competition where people will come with different hairstyles and their friends want to do the same. Because students at that level, there's a lot of peer pressure. There's a lot of copying among them. We are just saying that even now, we are battling with them having mobile phones concealed in their closet, which is taking a lot of their time on TikTok and other things. Are we willing to add more? And let's look at the quality of the results that is coming out. It is as poor as anything you can think of. My wife is an adjunct lecturer at UPSC. And he goes to class and she comes and is depressed. Some simple thing you think they should know, like they don't know. But they are holding mobile phones. As I sat here, I've Googled everything about the CD, put it in ChatGPT, reading about it. So the mobile phones they are holding can be a whole information pack. But mine, believe you me, they are sitting on TikTok, they are not reading anything. So some of the freedoms have to be taken from their hand. One of the best performing universities now in Africa is Covenant University in Nigeria, owned by Bishop David Oyedepo. Okay. Do you know the secret? When you get into the school, you don't hold a mobile phone for 4 years. Okay. In that university. And it's contributed to one of the best performances globally. I'm not talking about even Africa. Because distraction is taken off. And the simple rule is that when you come, you are not using a mobile phone for 4 years. When you vacate from home, you can use your phone. If you don't want to come, please stay home. It's as simple as that.
Therefore, in summer, Papa no kai and no or patches of Nigeria, David Oye de Poye University and Covenant University. In fact, all Casa Kranam go. You see, one of the world best African performing university is ranked like good globally. It's ranked very high. Okay, among African universities, Sa University is ranked 25th. The secret is that in Bofanomuku University and also mkuta phone, so they are concentrating. And they nuanomba okuta phone, ye nuanom kitomkuta phone. ChatGPT, you could actually learn everything. But we are shiny ni team because now doing your TikTok, now doing your series, Nigeria forces ultimate share ekosi. I just say Morris Sam, any Uche Montana, man, you obey shiny yana or narrative actual. But then common things I will be to know your left and right onim. Also can be about TikTok. You see, TikTok, it is not in China. Even though TikTok came from China, it is not in China. So why would China bring TikTok and not allow it in their country? It is because Omunim said TikTok a weapon, a deadly. TikTok is banned in China because China for say and what omumbo flano. Until China, different version of TikTok use. As a different version of TikTok, and it doesn't hook the children, which means we still time after a certain time. No one said no, a bit doom. I was okay before. Also, children and teenagers are not really allowed on there. Also, even on the same China form version of TikTok, they are teaching maths, they are teaching science, they are teaching technology, they are selling goods and services, they are doing correct marketing. Uba Chrome ha, dance challenges, endurance versus Afronita. I don't have any issues with that, but then the rate at which a big issue. And our panic party said, I didn't see a China for or my TikToker or my TikTok. I mean, we ask for now, we use TikTok. That is a big question. And then I'm saying China for the law, but I don't know if you've seen it on social media. Say, see, before you come on social media and talk, the same here, you know, Obabe Kasaba national issue, health, science, military, and a defense issue. You need to have a degree, university degree. We need that same law because Kwasiafobi Kasa Emma. Advice on social media and yet our panel some kind on that same font better also.
The TikTok and the feed that we get in TikTok in Africa, you think the same feed they are getting in China. But the TikTok app came from China. Go and see how we are playing with TikTok and how the feed they are giving them there. They are giving them feed that is making children learn, making them become productive, and they are giving us the one that people are dancing. So you see, it's something we have to have a national strategy around everything. We shouldn't sit down there and we are the same secondary school that we are debating here. Go and see the living conditions of students because of free SHS. Classrooms crowded, dormitories crowded, and people are even dying. But because we don't have statistics, if it's Credit Rollins who is there, yes, it's a national figure. So we all will see here. What about that boy who died at Pandu because he ate some bad food and we can't account for it? Who will go and report that one? And so we have to leave to the bigger conversation. And this peripherals doesn't become a national issue.
Right.
If you are the young woman whose activity sparked this conversation, between the plenty hair and the one they cut was looking more beautiful than the other. What is your problem? What is your problem, sir? No. What is your problem, sir? The girl was looking more beautiful in the cut hair than the one that he had plenty hairs on.
Yeah.
So therefore, in Sema Ekwaso and no. Now straight up no yanko Dad Lumba Nensem. Menoka say that Lumba Nensema Ekwaso between him, the leader Lumba himself, the first wife Akosia Sewa and your Dobruni, second wife was a side chick, any Busian Forum. German embassy have also come into the picture. So the question is, why is German embassy all of a sudden in this? According to German embassy, that Lumba was a dual citizen. Okay. You can't be a dual citizen now, or hold the citizenship of both countries. That Lumba was both a German and that Lumba was also a Ghanaian. Even though starting in the early days, not a Ghanaian, no call Germany, no, or naturalize a citizen. So no, Akosia Sewa, and then Mbami and so on, Akosia Sewa Wuyina, all of them are Germans. And you to know the laws are apply for Germans, it also apply. Those same laws applies to that Luma because Germany ni. The whole banter between Ebusiafo, Akosia Sewa, Odo Bruni properties, yeni say kuna widowhood rights. German embassy is saying that they've taken note of all of these things, and then they want to come inside. And Minuka say in the wake of the whole thing, German embassy have issued a statement say they are following the issue, and then they want Ghanaians to know say that Lumba no or Ghana ni or Germany ni also. They also have rights as to what we do with the body of that Lumba. Now, yen can some yeni, and it's young court screen so share a letter a German embassy for Omodibe 2 because at the end of the day, we need to know exactly why German embassy is saying this and even a motive for saying this particular thing. It will show the idea 2 screens no so we a letter if we German embassy or it will show the idea in we German embassy or say Budus Dutchland Accra, which is omo embassy near Accra no, and omo edit letter and a letterhead no so no and a letter no the idea edim no consular confirmation regarding the German marriage certificate of Charles Kojo Fosu and Akosua Fosua. So Akosua Fosu. In the say yes, German embassy etimi I share the details of it. And we say okay, the whole issue a koso ye perceive shed the authenticity, ye perceive verify say Akosua sewa. The first half of that lumba no any wa bruchi. Or no any that lumba. Our was it captured in German law? Almost say yes, it was indeed captured in German law. So they are releasing this particular press release to confirm this narrative. To confirm this particular narrative. In a short letter now, I say to whom it may concern. So in reading, also this is to confirm. This is to confirm that according to German civil law, there exists a valid marriage between Charles Kojo Fosu, born on date of birth in Isuta, and Akosua Fosu, maiden name Akosua Sewa, born in in the part this particular letter Germany for a release release it to say to confirm say there is a valid marriage. Which is a sign microphone menu or maware. Intakosua Sewan Sema Okan said the laws should apply both in Ghana because Owari Lumba or Germany and Osambe Waren or Ghana. These laws should apply. Also tries to say the marriage was celebrated on 23rd of December 2004 at Bochum in Germany in the presence of the couple and is registered in the marriage registry office under the number E142/2004. Don't part to say in 2004 no that lumba oni Akosua Sewa December 2004 omo ware na time omo ware na nkofo bi wo a German for kra no mo witness bi a no mo ware na say they capture data omo the married code no and ato ho osan to aso say as far as the embassy is aware of the marriage has not been dissolved by the marriage has not been dissolved by divorce but ended with the decease of the husband on the 26th of July 2025. Okay, July 2025. I don't know if they meant to say August or so, but I'm about to say time almost share almost say marriage no. That lumba any Akosua Sewa yema we ni koso that lumba any Akosua Sewa omawarie no ayede engu into the marriage certificate ni ba ho ni ade the marriage was celebrated on the 23rd of December 2004 and all these numbers no E142 2004 that's the marriage number no part say as far as embassy is aware of no that lumba aware na oni Akosua Sewa aware engu ye nemom ebra that lumba ebu ye no pedalon obi wu a aware na nipa na aware no egu because the other party is not alive again. So the obligation hasn't fallen on the person to perform if anything right as a legal husband because we wu that lumba we wu. In top I say aware no edaso ho o men divorce. So Akosua Sewa is still accordingly awarded or seen to be the legal wife, both in Germany and Ghana. Also attached, you find a copy of the said marriage certificate for a Pesua, Accra 27th, dates or the by say 27th of October 2025. That was yesterday. So that is exactly what is really going on. You could see, say, the whole fights. Ekoso ahusia sewa ne odobroni issue no German embassy for cry den edo mo agima that lumba what trend ama wu ye kra no uguso the trend now in some neighbor no ayen sem bebre it is omasan release or say German embassy confirms Miss Akosua Fosu as legal widow inti yen share science and foyer or by via near in some for so. Also, the family of the late Mr. Charles Kojo Fosu, affectionately known as worldwide as Dad Lumba, extends his heartfelt gratitude to all his fans, well wishes, and loved ones, especially those who stood firmly beside Miss Akosua Sewa Fosu and their lawful widow during these challenging and emotional difficult times. Your unwavering support, prayers, and belief in truth and justice has given the family immense strength as they navigate the painful period. So, no, almost some of the letter about say yes, German embassy for Kasa, and some German embassy for Kano, and no cre. The back it because in some of Mokano they have empirical evidence to back it. Also confirmation from the German embassy. The family wishes to officially inform the public that the German embassy in Accra has formally confirmed in writing that Miss Akosua Sewa Fosu is the legal and only lawful wife of the late Mr. Charles Kojo Fosu, aka Dad Lumba. According to German embassy, they are saying say Nipa or your lawful wife, legal wife, no, is only Akosua Sewa. No one else. No one comes at the back, in front, behind, and also in, on the left, right. The only wife legally, no, Akosua Sewa. After verifying the original marriage certificate presented to the family, the embassy stated clearly in their official letter dated 27th of October 2025 that as far as the embassy is aware of, the marriage has not been dissolved by divorce, but ended with the decease of the husband on the 26th of July 2025. So this is the letter that Lumba German embassy for a release because Akosua Sewa ebra Okasa only the legal, the only recognized legal wife. And you realize say the family of your friend is saying that Lumba no, they were of the view say maybe a tribunal no Akosua Sewa that Lumba ni tinsa say our egu into no omo that as a sign our egu, but then German embassy for a page say ingu our sa by law that Lumba any Akosua Sewa omen dissolve our court. So the marriage is still binding. It's as a time or more kasa no mutual letter no marriage never just that the marriage ended when that Lumba died, but then it did not end in divorce. Divorce is just say both parties have agreed say as far as they know that Lumba did not go to court to pursue a divorce. So that is the issue there currently. They are trending on social media. Once again, we are live. We'll be very much happy if you can bring in your comments. Some maybe I will join some of the comments, and some of your thoughts. We'll be very much happy. So at the end of the day, we can know exactly what you think about this whole issue. Now let's move on. Menuka say one hot person or no so na so she pa Paul Adom Ocho. Now Paul Adom Ocho said earlier this year he was arrested by the office of the special prosecutor because during the Akufo-Addo administration, Paul Adom Ocho was appointed as one of the board chair at the Ghana Airport Security, the Ghana Airport Limited. Now in there, we are learning say there was a particular contractor called Paul Adom Ocho not Nisa Ewumubi. And contract influence in picking the company, and I say contract and my company awarded to that particular company. He was pivotal in making sure that company got that contract. And in law, if any quid pro quo, according to OSP, Papa no and Paul Adom Ocho Ekojenika. So they arrested Paul Adom Ocho, Yoko arrested him. OSP also arrested him, and ultimately, they discharged and I said, you believe, But then the issue here was simple. Paul Adom Ocho, bail conditions, dinkakra because you see, on declare the properties, on declare, state properties in the more war, and one of the conditions for him, Now, for him to actually meet the bail requirements was for him to use his house or discover to us, okay, Sisika say, and also no ni fee back or the bay in as to meet the bail requirements. But then ultimately, on the same bet to just only fee, if you're team cran and the emperor asked and said, what is really going on? And there are other people too at the back, almost they believe, say, and according to the news, say, Paul Adomotri has a lot of houses. He's just trying to play smart. And if he fools the state to go and seize these particular properties. In aid of this, that's sorry, OSP Edin Simbia Babetuja said, this same Paul Adomotri is now suing the OSP. Adenya. Or see OSP or need to me say OSP but OSP need to me so baby sign say on declare the assets and into a court. Now OSP in same be abetuja together with Nkrata, but then yen share in sema OSP there abetuja. In fact, since some of the betuja ene the 28th of October 2025. Into no ye share some of the abetuja or their tuja no ye share new year near share the official press release or their tuja explaining what is really going on and also the details in regards with this particular thing that the airport. So to yen read the was news no so or say former Ghana Airports Company board chairman Paul Adomotri has filed. This is coming from the office of the special prosecutor, as you can see on your screens. Or say the former Ghana Airports Company board chairman Paul Adomotri has filed an application at the High Court seeking to squash a directive by the office of the special prosecutor OSP ordering him to declare his property and income. His lawyers, led by former Attorney General Godfrey Dame, argued that the directive issued on the 4th of August 2025 is unlawful, violates the Office of the Special Prosecutors Act 2017, Act 959, and its regulations and constitutes an abuse of power. It's Paul Adomotri, okay? Argue to his lawyer. The lawyer near former Attorney General Godfrey Dame. Omo argue said directive a ye OSP edibe just say Paul Adomotri undeclare the assets. Paul Adomotri undeclare the income scar or on the bank account because for this investigation to commence, you will see who say okay, Paul Adomotri sika hena wo bank account. Then we measure is okay. Uye Juma as host of Good Evening Ghana. O salary 6,000, 8,000 Ghana cedis. Yeah, the allowance crack can 10,000. Now you have excess of 20 million Ghana cedis in your account. Where did you get that money? Oh, I have other business. Other business now one scanner for records. Let's audit that business. You say scanner when you legit or not. And now say contracts now. Ghana Airports Company Limited. Now. So this directive was issued for Paul Adomotri to declare his assets on the 5th August 2025. And now Paul Adomotri offer a lawyer who is the former Attorney General say this particular directive a fee OSP Horban are unlawful because OSP Act 2017 it prohibits the OSP from getting to know and using subpoenas. Say will force you illegally by law to know the amount of money I will need pan bank accounts, the amount of money I will need pan apart from the amount of money I will need pan bank account and also the amount of properties are nipan per the Special Prosecutors Act 2017 it is unlawful and also almost by the courts onkai oman ento amanse name say OSP the all or abuse power. His powers. Now, you share the second one now, and I sema or the two asienum. Or say, Adomotri, who is under investigation by the OSP for suspected corruption and also corruption-related offenses, in the award of a revenue assurance contract by the Ghana Airports Company Limited to Everthest Limited is seeking several reliefs from the court. These include a declaration that the OSP's directive and alleged threats of legal consequences, confiscation, and detention are unlawful and amount to harassment. So now Paul Adomotri is also telling the court, say, courts mon shed your OSP and OSP at channel. OSP edna to how money bill no so and high. OSP say on declare the assets on find sika wenye bia on fan brand ni share properties you will be on show kratas ni shame. Also all of these things are abuse of power and need to know person court in the assem na court no engine to me say no OSP were abusing Paul Adomotri. And aside from that too osiki a whole lot of things reliefs say ye man iska ye man in patasika say I don't know patasika na openo okay but one of them should be say OSP Onjai Paula Domocha or Tatan because a unlawful and also it amounts to harassment. Shut down. He is also asking for an order prohibiting the OSP from detaining him further. So he refused to declare his property and income to the office by the stated deadline, among other relief. You see, no patch say now no courts and bim now on stopping OSP no from actually getting to know or no Paula Domochi in the properties in the income. And even if Paula Domochi refused to declare his income, there was a law no Emma Hukwan say OSP no ultimate chip Paula Domochi because we refuses to declare the income, because we refuses to declare the assets. According to him, no, these things no it doesn't make sense. You know, even posted a copy, OSP officer posted a copy of the whole year or show on the screen. So I'll say this case between applicants or Paula Domochi versus and end the office of the special prosecutor. So this is the whole thing which is going on between Paula Domochi now contractor Ghana Airport Company time and Paula Domochi or no as one of the botchers no awarded to ever test who boom 20 million or so dollar contract no papa ni nimu because Fechene Evertest for Ekodin Komo he influenced the award of contract to Evertest no science no is currently under investigation. Paula Domochi so ni moshe yes still he says so OSP what their kokko say undeclare the assets no Paula Domochi property be undeclare and also sikebi on the bank account be undeclare no Paula Domochi through his lawyer Godfrey Damin, the former attorney general party say unlawful and cause to stop these things because he Paula Domochi is never ever going to declare the assets. So that is exactly what is really going on. He's spoken a lot. Thank you so much. But we read some few comments na see so comment abano if Melody Mumba or say hi to you too. If Idris Nasi also say hi. And if Kweku Edward or say this, there is no logic in okay, so there's a logic in the caption because your friend is saying story now about a different story because we're doing live, but the airplane helicopter crash is Seaman for 11 and a lot of stories and they are boom. So you see a lot of captions, titles, a boom. There's logic in it. And I will Kweku Edward. Also, there's no okay. And I say Kweku Edward now. Kase. Sisiane ye kase. NDC aban allow Chinese phone. Yembi say who say Gihor, Canry, any all of these companies. You know why were those sold? And we so. According to Kweku Edward, I say it was sold because Ghana for they mismanaged the international Chinese flying free treat our system. That is his view. And Muzu Nicholas or say helicopter crash when? So helicopter crash happened in Kenya in 11 12 MB Air German for hungry for any idea. So that is exactly what is really going on. Thank you so much for joining us today right here on this particular platform. See you again tomorrow as we bring our life right here to you same time tomorrow. Thank you.